Welcome back, everyone, to FGC Behind the Smoke podcast.
Smoke, baby.
I am your co-host, Adamo.
And I'm Boris.
Boris, what's our topic today, buddy?
Today, we're just going to spitball a little bit, have fun with it. Going to go over some firefighter tools, what our favorite tools are, tools in the fire service, calls, whatever. Just
Cool.
Basically some tool stuff.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. What's your favorite firefighter tool?
My favorite?
Yeah. You can't see your hands.
Yeah. I would say the irons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a combo.
Combo tool. Yeah.
What are the irons for people that don't know?
Oh, yeah. The irons are your Halligan and your flathead axe. Do you know why we use the flathead axe, Boris?
Instead of a pick head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you want to tell people why?
Yeah, for striking purposes. For people that don't know, Halligan is basically our prying tool for essentially any kind of prying that we do. Really, it's kind of like a catch-all for.
Yeah, it definitely can be. But like more specifically, it's used with like forcible entry stuff, right?
Yeah.
Trying to gain entry into doors and creating purchase points. Sometimes also in MVIs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I like that, opening up like a can with a pick, and then you just kind of pull it over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's your favorite tool?
One I haven't used in a while, and because it's on a squad is a vehicle that's reserved for our heavy rescue guys, like Adamo, who is a heavy rescue guy, deals with car crashes and things like that. So, yeah, I actually like the tool that's only on the heavy rescue truck, which is the pig. I haven't used the pig in a while.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, actually.
Yeah, it's a not very utilized tool, but I like it. Maybe just because of its name. I like the pig,
Yeah.
Grab the pig.
It isn't, I feel like it doesn't get used a lot, but it is a handy tool to have.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I don't understand sometimes when, we go to a fire and like everybody brings an axe or everybody brings a Halligan. It's like, how about bringing a pike pole?
Yeah.
Bringing the pig, bringing something else, because we're not going to, and then it ends up every single time at a fire, you have like 3 or 4 axes outside the door, or like at the front door. It's like, nobody's going to use all that.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I feel like a pike pole is one that's doesn't get utilized a lot, but has a lot of different varieties of use to it.
Yeah, just like the 4-footer or like the New York hook.
Yeah.
Like obviously, we're not experts. This is just our own opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe there is a reason why you need 4 axes in a fire, but I don't know, personal opinion, like think a little bit about what you're bringing to the fire, what tools you have.
If you see that you're going in with someone and they already have the irons, like grab something else.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. For sure. What are some tools that you think you need to practice on more?
I'll always say medical.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like medical tools are something that we always just need to freshen up on.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't even think about medical stuff.
But we tend to, we do practice medicals and we do scenarios and stuff. But I feel like, if you gave me a door right now to break through or to splinter someone's leg, to like stabilize someone's leg, I'll take the door every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
So we tend to practice more about the stuff that we like doing or that's a little more fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like those things can't get neglected either.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
What
It's a big part of our job.
Yeah.
Too, right, is like responding to medical calls. So
yeah, it's like 75-80% of our calls, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every department, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. But we got a ton of tools on our rigs.
Yeah, and they're pretty standard too across the board for like all fire departments, right?
Yeah.
Some fire departments might have other tools that may be a bit more unique to like their specific department based off of their requirements or whatever. But for the most part, every fire department you go to, they're going to have basically the same tools.
Yeah.
Right.
You have like the engineered tools like nozzles and applicators and reducers, things like that. And
Yeah.
Auto X cabinet.
Yeah.
Right. We could talk about compartments and tools all day, and I think people will just want to drive off a cliff if they're listening to this on the road.
Yeah. It could be like a bit of a boring subject, right? And for those of you who are, up and coming firefighters just getting hired and stuff, you're going to have the opportunity to learn more about the tools and stuff throughout your training too, right?
Yeah. And if you can, like, try to research some of the tools, like you can literally talk about the Halligan for 30 minutes. You know, where it was invented, who invented it, parts of the Halligan, how it's used, how it's made, the different, you know, lengths of the Halligan. Like you could go into depth with every single tool, and you should be able to know every tool in depth.
Yeah, because that might even be part of like some of your probation or presentations too.
Yeah. For those that don't know, in the fire service, when you're new, one of the ways that the crew might test you on your knowledge, or some of the crews while you're going through the process might test you on your knowledge, is by having you present a tool to them.
Yeah, and tell them about the tool, its uses, you know, pros and cons to it, stuff like that. Right?
Yeah. Some of the most common ones are like your SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus,
Yeah.
gas detector.
Yeah. Thermal imaging camera,
Yeah.
radios.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different presentations that you could be asked to put on when it comes to what's on the rig.
Yeah, and
Right.
you need to know those items for sure. So it's a good practice for you. It's a good indicator to the crew what your knowledge is and how much practice you need, and it's definitely a big part of our job.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. What about tools that you personally carry on yourself, like on your gear, that tools that you've, you know, purchased yourself or whatever?
Yeah.
What do you like to carry?
I try to keep it simple. Like webbing is
Yeah.
one of them. It's just such a versatile tool, like tying a door, right?
Yeah.
Or tying it open, tying a nozzle. I've had that once. Like we were at a fire where it was like a sawmill or something, and the fire was in the ducts, and we had to go up on a forklift and like chainsaw into the duct, or a K12 into the duct, and flow some water in it. So like while we were going up there, I had to tie up my hose to the lift or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's definitely come in handy.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
like it, and I know it's a great tool for rescue and self extrication and things like that. So
Yeah.
that's one item I do like having.
Yeah, I agree. I got two different lengths of webbing that I
Okay.
carry.
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen guys like that.
yeah,
have that.
one is a longer length and it's more applicable for like, you know, civilian rescues and stuff like that if you had to convert a harness.
Right.
And then I carry like a shorter piece of webbing for myself for like if I had to escape from like a basement or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, you know, you carry like some carabiners and stuff, wire cutters.
Yeah. You know what? I had wire cutters on me, and they rust. And I know, like, obviously taking care of your tools is a big thing and make sure they don't rust, but it's in my pocket. We go to like water problem.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we're in a city that gets a lot of rain. So I get rain down, or we're at an MVI outside for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it just keeps rusting. And it's such a small tool I got the one with the little spring in it. So it
Yeah.
just automatically opens.
Yeah.
Right. And I just find it like rusts immediately. I
Yeah.
don't know how, yeah. You have one?
I
with
do,
your-
yeah. Yeah, I haven't had issues with mine rusting, but I do think it's a important tool to carry in that situation if you do get tangled in wires, or if you're trying to get somebody
Mhm.
out of a building and they're entangled in wires. It's a good one to have, right?
Yeah.
Cuts through them pretty easily. Another thing that I have is a shove knife, but I haven't had a ton of success on using that. I think I just need to practice more with it and kind of figure it out a bit. But yeah,
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those tools that if you had more time to blow on a call, you'd use it more.
yeah, like if
Yeah.
it's not like something super urgent or
Yeah.
something, right?
Like
And
a
I mean,
kid stuck in a bathroom or something, you know?
yeah, where you don't want to have to like destroy somebody's door or something,
Yeah.
right?
And scare the child and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's I mean, I'm sure that there's people out there that can use them really efficiently and super quick.
Yeah.
I just need to take some time to try and use it a bit more and figure it out. And then I also just carry a metal wedge as well.
You haven't lost it yet?
Well, I actually did lose one and then I got another one. So
How much do those things cost?
I think they're like $30 or something
Oh my
like that. Yeah, yeah. But the thing with the metal wedge too, that's pretty cool, is you can also use it for forcible entry.
Right.
Right, so it's kind of a bit of like a multi-purpose use, which
Yeah.
is nice.
I had the rubber one. Have you seen those? Like the little rubber, like fluorescent green
No, I haven't.
wedges? No.
No.
They were kind of cool. Same thing. I lost it. And I'm like, well, I'm not spending any more money on this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it is easy to have your tools misplaced at a fire,
mhm.
especially when there's just like so much going on and whatever. Like that's how I lost my original metal wedge. Like I use it to just like wedge a door, and then so much going on, and I totally forgot to grab it
Well,
after.
sometimes you never come back to that area, right? Like I know, certain fires will like prop open the doors, and then that whole area will be like under a foot of water. And
Yeah.
I'll just either not come back that way, or
Yeah.
You know, we come out to change bottles or whatever, and I'm never back in there again.
Yeah, I also have like a wood wedge as well, and I think like going forward, I'm just gonna keep my metal wedge for actual like forcible entry stuff that
Yeah,
I need it for, instead
that's
of
good.
using it to like prop a door open or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's a good call actually, because yeah, I got a bunch of wooden wedges on me for yeah, for just
For that purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty good because you can't really lose a metal wedge if you're just forcing a door open. It's gonna end up on the other side of that door.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just put it back in your pocket or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know I've seen guys at different departments in our department also who have like those helmet mounted flashlights.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how much those are. I haven't really looked into it, but I wonder how well they work.
Yeah.
I wonder how illuminating it actually is compared to, the flashlight that we bring in that we carry like on our chest.
Yeah, I have my own flashlight, not the helmet one, but like the chest one, just because I don't like putting it back every shift or forgetting it on my gear and then some guy not having it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's just
that does happen sometimes too, right? So
yeah,
that's a good call. The only thing that I don't like about those ones though is that like if you are in like a pretty hot fire and you have to be kind of hunched over or whatever, the light is kind of just like shining on the ground then.
right.
Whereas with the helmet light, it's shining ahead, right?
Yeah,
So
where you're looking.
yeah, so I wonder if it's worth investing in or not.
Yeah, if you guys are listening to this and you have some opinions or you have questions, shoot them our way. We'd love to know them because, yeah, it's not really something we talk about too much
No.
in the fire service. Like, we nerd out on some things, but when it comes to equipment, like, guys just do their own thing and we
Yeah.
don't really question it. We don't ask them.
Yeah.
It's just, it's what you're comfortable with, what you want to rock. And, yeah, I don't really, if somebody wants to wear like 20 things on their helmet, I don't care, and I'm not going to ask about it.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. It's everyone's personal preference, right?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody cares about their own gear and their own kit.
Yeah. I also think though if you have too many tools, it can also kind of hinder you a bit,
For sure.
right? You just got too much, you got so much stuff. Like if you're gonna get some tools, I would say just get like the ones that are like the most necessary,
Yeah.
wire cutters, maybe a helmet flashlight,
Phillips screwdriver.
yeah, like a little multi-bit screwdriver, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I know some people they carry like seatbelt cutters, window punches, stuff like that too, right? So there's like knives out there that you can buy that they have a knife, a window punch, and a seatbelt cutter all built into it, like
Yeah,
a
I
Swiss
think-
Army knife.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. I
thing.
think Gerber makes them too. Like I had in my vehicle
Yeah,
too, like in my truck when I'm out hunting and say like I'm alone and I roll over.
yeah.
Right?
Oh,
It's
that's
just-
smart. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice having the center console. You can just pop it out and cut your seatbelt or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually really smart. That's it's good to be prepared for when you go hunting, especially if you're solo.
Yeah.
Right. Which we've both done before, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good call. never
I got
thought
so
about-
much. I got so many things in my truck for just trying to get out on my own.
Yeah,
Like that little tire inflator, just a battery operated tire
yeah.
inflator.
I have one of those too.
Yeah, it's
It's actually come in handy a few times
Yeah.
too. While I've been out in the bush.
yeah, same. Used it a couple times for sure.
But yeah, as far as like firefighting tools go, every department, every apparatus is going to have tools specific to what that apparatus kind of responds to, right? Like
Mhm.
you might not have auto X equipment on like a medic truck or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
rescue
for sure.
vehicle or something, right? Just get familiar with like all types of firefighting tools. A good way to do that is if you are with like a volunteer fire department, just kind of like look into the tools that you have there and get people to put presentations on it. You each take a turn with a tool, put a little demo presentation together or whatever and test the tool out, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
learn,
for sure.
learn about it, learn its uses, learn its limits. Yeah. And then, as far as carrying tools on you, just like I was saying earlier, just carry what is necessary. I think you also don't want to be going and spending a bunch of your own money on a tool that you might never use.
Yeah.
Right? That
I'm-
might not be very applicable.
For sure. And I'm a big fan of like if you are going to spend the money, spend it on something that's going to save your life. For example, like we all use carabiners,
Yeah.
right? I think most people use carabiners in the fire service.
Yeah.
So like why not make your carabiner a life-saving carabiner?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're already going to, buy it or spend money on it or get it. Why not make it one that could save your life potentially?
Yeah, I've seen carabiners that have like a little pulley on them as well. I know some guys carry those, and they carry like a length of like 30 feet of like climbing rope or whatever, right? Like 8 mil
Right.
rope for that purpose, right? So you can also build like a little 2-to-1 system out of that as well, right?
Right. Notepads, right? Key thing to have in your gear. I always like having like a right in the rain pad,
Yeah, those
you
ones
know,
are good. They work really well too.
especially like an MVI where again you might be there for like a couple hours.
Yeah,
For those that don't know, MVI stands for motor vehicle incident, right? So
yeah.
we're out in the elements. It's a car crash. We might be working on there for a couple hours, pouring rain.
Yeah, and then you could be there after, just like waiting for a tow truck or for police to show up.
Yeah, and
Well,
you're
it all depends on the scenario.
and you're writing down, medical information, license plate numbers. You want a notepad that's gonna last through that call.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have any other tools that you carry on you?
I love carrying 4 granola bars.
Just in case you get hungry?
Yeah. Like if we're at a fire or like a long ass call,
Yeah.
one for each member of the crew.
Hey, that's
Just
not a
kinda-
bad idea.
Yeah, just like
Right
here.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's happened where I forget about them and it's like a year expired candy bar, just like super flat and gross. I still eat it like I'm a pig, right? So the other 3 crew members don't want it, but I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you carry with you? Anything else?
Yeah, like that's pretty much it, man. Like I have a crescent wrench as well, but
Yeah.
it's kind of the only thing that's really good for is if like a building's flooding, you can just remove the toilet,
Right. Take
and
it
then
off.
and then squeegee like the water towards the toilet, so
Right.
instead of creating water damage to floors below. But
Right.
yeah, like I said, I don't carry a ton. I just carry what I think is necessary,
Yeah. Oh, N95 mask inside my bucket.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
important.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Carrying a N95 mask inside your helmet. That's because if you are at a MVI and you do have to break windows or stuff, you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. So you just quickly throw that on.
Yeah, I think that's when you guys go through your careers, and I'm sure our kit might change, throughout the years, but you guys will see what works, what doesn't work, what you lose easily, what you kind of use all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just test things out, be open to different things.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Ask guys like I said, like we didn't ask anybody about the light, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna ask somebody about that because I'm just curious to know if it's worth. I don't know how much they are, but I'm sure they vary in prices. But I think it'd be worth looking into.
Yeah. How do you feel about cameras on people, like helmet cam?
You see, you see departments down more so in the States. I find like volunteer departments, they have like GoPro cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it could be like an invasion of privacy or conflict or, I think that's something that you'd have to get approval from your department, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I would say if you're thinking of having a camera on, think long and hard, pass it up your chain of command. It could have some legal implications.
Yeah, something like that. You want to make sure that you've thought it through and that you get the approval to do that. Don't just like show up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm going to put this GoPro on my helmet. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of videos on YouTube, on Instagram of firefighters with GoPro cameras on their helmet and stuff. Super cool, some of the footage, right? But just make sure you go through the right avenues to make sure that you're approved to do that, right? Because you don't want to get in trouble.
No. And for what? So you can have some footage of a fire? Like,
yeah, I can see it being useful for like training.
Yeah.
Right? Just so you can bring up like training points, like different things that could happen in a fire, stuff like that. Like I could see that being useful. But I mean, if you're just doing it because you want to go home and show your buddies like the fire that you fought, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of lame in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But if you are one of those people and you have been approved to wear that, you've gotten permission, use it for training points.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of like my 2 cents on tools and like what I carry. And like we said earlier, there's just so many different tools within the fire service that I mean, we could talk about it for hours and go through each one, but
we respect our audience, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want to put them through that.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a boring topic, right? But I think it is good to just like let people know that like it's not a bad idea to carry some of your own personal smaller tools, right? Like maybe some extra webbing, like we were talking about, or wire cutters, just little things like that. So that way, if you are in a situation in a fire where you require that, you have it, right?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
So yeah, that's all I got for tools.
Yeah. Know your tools, know where they are on the rigs. We talked about it in another episode. That's probably going to be one of the very first things once you hit the fire hall that your crew's going to want you to know and want you to be dialed in with.
Yeah.
So lots of tools to know. And if you can kind of figure out how a rig is set up or a fire truck is set up, you're going to be able to learn what's inside those compartments a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right. So we talked about it a little bit. Like one compartment on the driver's side is going to be driver tools.
Yeah.
Right. One side's going to be auto X stuff. One side's going to be medical. The medical stuff's most likely going to be, where the most junior person on that rig sits, right?
Yeah.
Officer tools again.
Yeah.
Probably around the officer, right?
Yeah, for sure. And like department dependent.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's pretty standard across the board, I think.
Yeah. So know your tools, know where they are, and be good with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey everyone, we just wanted to take a moment quickly to thank our sponsors. Our first sponsor is CanCon Construction. CanCon is located in Abbotsford, BC. CanCon specializes in heavy machinery for construction sites, such as backhoes, excavators, and so on. If you're looking to gain experience, or if you already have experience as an equipment operator and you're looking for a new place to work, we highly suggest CanCon Construction. They're one of the best in the business, and they treat their employees like gold. So check them out. You can look at their website at canconconstruction.com. The next sponsor we'd like to thank is Strike Recovery and Performance. Strike is located in Burnaby, BC. They provide physio, chiropractor, and RMTs. I've been personally going to Strike for a few years now, so it's really awesome that they've decided to sponsor our podcast. I've gone to other chiros and physios before, and nothing compares to Strike. Their head chiropractor was actually a chiropractor for the UFC for quite a while, so they have a lot of experience dealing with professional athletes. And as firefighters, you have the potential of getting injured, and they're the people to go see. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you have any questions for us or there's topics that you want us to cover, just email us at info@firefightersglobal.com. If you're looking for any coaching or consulting, just go to our website, firefightersglobal.com. Check us out on social media at firefightersglobal. So yeah, we're everywhere. So.
Everywhere, baby.
If you like the podcast, let us know. If you don't like the podcast or you want us to change anything or cover other topics, just get in touch with us. We want to hear from you guys. So
yeah, and it's gonna be very exciting coming up. We're gonna have some guests on the show.
Yeah, we got a pretty big lineup of guests that we've invited to come on who've agreed to come on. So there's gonna be a lot of different topics. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.